Okay, Judy. So we are now doing a video for the Etude No1. We're really working on it just as an exercise. I'm not too worried about this being a full-on song or anything like that. I just want to get you back into reading the notes and being able to put it down with your left and right hand. So what we did last time, we did the A minor chord. We said in the A minor chord we have the notes A, C, and E. So we were able to arpeggiate those notes by playing the 5th string A, the octave above it is on the 3rd string A, and then we had the C and the E above it, okay? And we said let's play that with IMI and our thumb alternating as well. So our thumb followed through with that, with the first beat being A, C, E, C. I have a capo on because I'm down a half step, but it should be the low A, C, E, C. Then on the next beat, our thumb jumped up to the A on the 3rd string. A, C, E, C. Okay? A, C, E, C. A, C, E, C. Then we got into the E7. The E major chord has an E, a G sharp, and a B in it. Okay? Just going line, 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 we have E, G, B. That would be an E minor chord, though. And if we looked at it with the whole half thing, with the major third on the bottom and a minor third on top, we actually figured out that there's an E, a G sharp, and a B. You don't have to worry about that right now, okay? Just be able to look at this now and see that that G sharp in there is in there because it's part of that E7 chord. Okay? So it's an E7 because it has an E, a G sharp, a B, and a D. It has the note that's a whole step behind the E. So those notes end up becoming E, G sharp, B, and D. They're not all played at the same time like this, or even this. Okay, it's an arpeggio, so they ring, and the ear kind of hears them relate to each other as if you're playing an E7 chord. So even though in that 3rd beat there you have, what are we doing actually here? I can't remember. Oh yeah, B and D. Yeah. So B and D, you have your pinky on this B and your 3rd finger on D. Okay. Even though you're hearing B, D, E, you're not even hearing the G sharp. The G sharp would sound pretty. How would I even play that? Sorry, I can't get to it right now. But if you play the G sharp, it would sound pretty. But it's not there, and it doesn't necessarily not sound like an E chord because of it. But you do play it right after that. You're going to play B, D, E, D, and that full 3rd beat there, you went B, D, E, D. And then you went and reached for the G sharp here. Now it starts to sound like an E major chord. Okay? That gets you through the first 4 beats. That's what we did last week. So we've heard an A minor chord, an E7 chord, arpeggiated like this. Okay? I want you to play it nice and slow when you're playing that, and I want you to focus on relaxing. Your wrist is out, the tone sounds good, and you're just kind of getting through it. That's where you should be this week. You should be able to do what we did last week, but focus more on your tone. Okay? Focus more on the timing of it. Just everything sounding nice and relaxed. Okay? That's what this is for. That's where you should be with last week. Let's look ahead, because there's actually some stuff you can do already because of what you did last week. The second measure has the exact same notes that you started with in a little bit different order. So you're back to an A minor chord, because what you can see in that second measure is A, C, E, C. Just like you played in the 2nd beat of the 1st measure. It's the exact same thing you played. You go back to this. Okay? The 2nd beat of that 2nd measure is the low A. Okay? So you've already played those before. Okay? One thing I want you to notice is when you played this G sharp in the end of that last measure, it sounds like it resolves once you get back to this chord. Can you hear that? That's where that note's coming from. G sharp is leading to A. This song is in the key of A minor. Okay? That's why it sounds good. Here's it from the beginning. Okay? So it gives you that feeling like there is a melody, but it's not like a melody that you would hum. You're hearing just notes like this. Oh shoot, I didn't have to do that. Hold on a second. What would we hear? We'd hear A, and then I guess this D. Right? I mean, you're hearing a broken melody that's really long over the course of this entire thing. But remember, it's just a study. It's just an etude. It's not really a full-on melody that you're trying to get on the radio anyway. Okay? But that's what you should hear. This still has the fundamentals of melody should still apply here, and that's why that G sharp wants to go back to the A. Okay? That gets you through halfway, more than that, because you go back to the middle A, C, E. So the first 3 beats of the etude here, of the second measure, you have, where am I at? I can't do it. You have this measure right here is exactly the same as, I'm doing it upside down and backwards, here. Alright, then this second beat here is the exact same as the first one you did. And the third one is the same again as this guy. So you have, the second measure is A, C, E, C, A, C, E, C, A, C, E, C. Okay? And you'll hear how that kind of frames itself after you get the hang of this. So this, what we've done here is brought back that sound of the A minor. Listen to what happens next though. Let's look at that last beat of that measure. Okay? Just looking at the notes, the first note is a C, the next note is an E, the next note is an E, the next note is an E. C, E, E, E. If you didn't have any other notes there, any notes meaning anything jotted down around it, any of those like circle notes or the numbers around it, circle numbers or the numbers around it, you would think it was totally easy. Alright, nothing to it. C, E, E, E. But that's not what's happening here. It still gives the feeling of an A minor chord here, but it's a little bit more complicated. You just came from an A minor chord. We want to hear C, E, 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 but here's how it's going to be done. If you look at that first note, it's a C, but they're telling you that it's played when there's a 3 with a circle underneath it. It means you're going to play the C that's on the 3rd string. Okay? That C that we normally play, 1st fret, 2nd string, is going to be played on the 3rd string. So let's figure out where that is. You have an open G on the 3rd string. You have the 2nd fret A. You have the 4th fret B, and B and C are separated by a half step, so you just go up 1 more fret. That's C. Let's do that again. Open G. A is next. Go up another whole step to B. You can test that right now if you wanted to hit the open B string. They should sound the same. Okay? And then 1 fret up to C. You can test that by playing this note you just played and then playing the C that you know is on the 2nd string. Okay? So that C, okay, is on the 5th fret. Nice, Dean. The 5th fret of the 3rd string. That's what we're going for. Okay? They tell you to put your 3rd finger there. That's what that 3 above the note says to do. So 3rd finger is here on the 5th fret. Now, it should look like this to you as you're looking at dots, okay? Just note that this is off. So if I wasn't playing any notes, it'd be easy for me to just go, okay, you go there on that dot, okay? You should be, just count the frets. You should be at the 5th fret with your 3rd finger, okay? The next note says it's an E, but they're saying it's on the 2nd string. Let's look at that 2nd string. 2nd string has an open B, has 1st finger C, has 3rd fret D, and the 5th fret E. Okay? So where before you played your 3rd finger on the 5th fret for the C, now they're telling you on that 2nd string, play the note E with your 4th finger. Okay? Alright, so that should look like this to you. You're on a dot right there. 3rd finger's on the dot, pinky's on the dot. Okay? Just like that. That's how it should look to you when you're playing. If I played that right now, it would sound a half step down, so I'm not going to do that. But that's what it's going to look like. Okay? When you play those notes, the E and the E, so the E on the 2nd string plays, and then look, the 3rd note in that arpeggio is an open E string. So there, you're going to go E, 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 but you're going to go back and forth between the E you're playing on the 2nd string, the E on the open E string, and then the E on this 2nd string. I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to put this on the 5th fret where I came from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 1 fret above the dot for me, okay? But you're here on the, you have 3rd finger down and your pinky down on the 5th fret of the 2nd and 3rd string, okay? And it will sound like this. C, E, 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 just like it would sound if I went. Okay, it just gives a different sound. The open E and the fretted E just sound different. But it also comes from the A minor chord before. And this is what I want you to get out of today. Okay? In order to get from this A minor chord to where we just left off, you just have to focus on your third finger. Okay? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to watch your ring finger and move your ring finger, take everything else off. So your A minor chord is down. Let's say that first. Your A minor chord is down. Take your first and second finger off. Your third finger is going to guide you from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret. Okay? For you, it's on the dot. Okay? I'll take this off so you can see it again if you want. You're here on A minor. This is what your guitar should actually look like if you're playing. You're here on A minor. Your third finger is going to move from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret. Okay? Practice that a couple times. A minor. Watch your ring finger and move it to the 5th fret. One more time. A minor. And then your ring finger moves to the 5th fret of the same string. It's just riding up and down the string. I don't even take it off. I'm not pushing. I'm just allowing it to sort of ride that string. Once that's down, put your pinky right behind it, and you're good to go. And that's how you'll play that. Okay? All right. Put my capo back on. Sorry about this. This guitar can't handle that tuning right now. So you come from an A minor chord, and then you land here. It should sound like this. This is that whole measure. A, C, E, C, A, C, E, C, A, C, E, C. Watch your third finger, move it up to the 5th fret, drop your pinky down, and then play those 3 strings. Thumb, I, M, I. Okay, here it comes again. Okay? That's what I want you to explore this week, okay? I want you to be thinking about timing and technique on the first measure, and I want you to get your head around that little part right there on the second measure. The 3 beats before that last tricky part should be totally easy. You should be able to handle that no problem. But that last little bit should be something you got to think about. Just giving a little bit at a time, just something to work on each week. This is just kind of make sure this makes sense. Let's talk about this. Give yourself a day or two, and then let's Skype about it. Whenever you want. Just let me know if you have any questions. Okay? Or you can call me or text me, whatever you need to do. Hopefully that'll help you out. Just let me know. Bye.